So you've got this settlement money and you're thinking about your future and what to do with it. And one of the options that I know a lot of my friends have thought about is to own a franchise. And you may ask yourself, how do I do that? This guy knows right there. He knows all about this. This is Andrew Hoffman, the founder of My Franchise Partners. Andrew, what do people need to know about buying a franchise and starting a franchise?
I think the first point I would convey to them, Craig, is that money is not the be-all, end-all. Of course, you require some money, but the main thing to look at first when you sit at the kitchen table with your family and analyze your prospects is look at your current skills and experience. They're probably more robust than you think, and that opens many doors for you. And then just be sort of open to ideas you may never thought of before with that background in mind.
And can you give me some examples that you've run into in the past of someone who hasn't owned a franchise, but realized they had some skills that they did not have in the past?
Absolutely. So the skills and experience thing is not necessarily at the CEO executive level. Somebody could be, they can manage a department. Let's say, for example, the person who runs a shift at a call center. They inherently, people like that might sort of demean their skill and experience. They have managed timelines, deadlines, multiple staff, high tempo environment. Those are all fantastic skills. Or somebody runs a crew on a construction site. Things like that have breadth and depth you probably didn't think about.
Yes, I have a colleague of mine who was an accountant at a company that I worked at, and now she owns a Boston Pizza, at least one. I think she owns more than one.
Yeah, so someone like that, they've got when you work in the finance realm, accounting, finance, whatever you want to call it, you see all the numbers, you understand the numbers, you've balanced the numbers, and what people might think inherently is that person might lack some of the marketing skills and experience. So in the franchise world, we match you to the right fit for you. So in those right fits, you find that the franchise offers you the most robust opportunities that fill in your holes. So she'll find a franchise that covers great training on the marketing side, perhaps a centralized call center, where all the calls from your phone number go to a call center. They screen them, they vet them in depth. They do a preliminary sales type call. They book it in your calendar. You say, okay, I got 2 o'clock with Craig and 4 o'clock with Andrew. I'm good to go. You make a phone call. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. It's whoever, and it's booked for you. A lot of those have a very high success rate of closing the leads, converting the leads to an appointment, and closing appointments to actual deals. So something like that, we look at that first, we match that with her as well.
So you don't need all the skill sets. You don't have to have gone to business school. You don't need an MBA. You need to come with your skill set, and either you or the franchise will help fill in the gaps in your knowledge and experience.
100%, Craig. So the first step is we have a nice little dialogue, and I go through an 8-step process to kind of understand you, your experience, your background, your goals, your finances, your ambitions, the lifestyle you want to live. And from that, we find franchises at first blush seem to offer that opportunity for you. And then we identify who can or can't. So then we get rid of some of the mental hurdles or the challenges. Maybe you have a mindset believing a certain kind of franchise model is not for you because of whatever. So what I do in that part is the education part. Open your eyes to opportunities for you. I expose what you maybe weren't aware of. And to your point, Craig, is we get to the table where they fill in your blanks to your advantage.
And what kind of interests, personal interests, what role do they play in this?
Well, people talk about pursuing your passion. Okay, so I have a passion, believe it or not, for baking. I love baking apple pies, and dessert, stuff like that, right?
You're a good person to know.
Yeah, so my passion is not going to be an income. So all I can say is ease on the passion part. Like I would say a strong interest or an affinity for it. Passion is kind of like my pie thing, right? I go easy on the passion part. Just kind of, if you do your passion your business, you may lose passion for it. As a hobby, you love it to death. As a 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, maybe not so much so.
Yeah, there's a quote from Shakespeare that's on one of my wife's t-shirts, and I can't get it exactly right, but if every day was playing, it wouldn't be playing anymore.
Well, yeah. So the key is you take your skills experience, you build on that thing there, you did it for 10, 20, 30 years. Also, you enjoyed that to a certain extent. You know, you hated it that much, you would have quit it 10, 20 years ago. So there's an affinity for that skill and experience right there. Don't reinvent the wheel. Make your life easy. Follow the path of the water flowing downhill.
Hmm.
Just find the easy path down the hill. And then we kind of match it. And then within that range of opportunities, we'll find the one that strikes a passion chord for you.
Right. Now, an example I would use for a lot of my friends who are losing jobs in television, they're control room producers, right? So
Hmm.
what they do is every night they have to work with the talent, they have to work with the camera, they have to work with the crew, they have to do research for what's going on. They have in whatever sport they're doing. So they are running herd over people with different skill sets and making them all come together to get a show on the air. I think a lot of those people don't see their skills as transferable to many places. What kind of thoughts do you have on that?
Well, I would dramatically disagree with every one of them. I'm not a TV or media guy, but let's just say based on people I've talked to in the industry and watching documentaries and watching these guys do their jobs kind of stuff, they have a lot of great skills. So they manage deadlines, strong deadlines. There's no sort of gray area. It's a fixed timeline, get it done, or bad stuff's going to happen. So in that room, then there's a lot of chatter. People who are on their side of the window, so to speak, who are doing a variety of things. So they manage deadlines, they manage skilled people, they listen to people as well. And your word, they manage the talent. In the business world, the talent is a customer. And like many sort of high profile talent, that's not always wrapped very nicely sometimes. So you listen, you find solutions, make everybody happy. Those guys, to me, those people to me, have tremendous array of transferable skills. To me, they'd be an ideal candidate, absolutely ideal, with a myriad of opportunities for them.
I think so too. I mean, they specialize in like getting it done and managing everybody else to get it done. What's the best way for people to work with you, Andrew?
Well, with the with the COVID thing, I do an awful lot of stuff like this. I do a lot of Zoom type calls, and ask people to contact me is block off half hour to an hour just for conversation. I can ask you a lot of questions, to explore who you are, what you're looking for, kind of a deal. I'm happy to explain what I've done, the background, my successes. So a Zoom call is great to start with. Have a pen and paper handy, and let's take notes back and forth, and just give me what you feel like in here. And so lead with this, but bring this with you. Right?
you never, you never want to leave that at home.
Exactly,
Bad
right?
things
And
happen
so
when
just
you leave that at home.
yeah, and so at the Zoom calls, we've had the husband and wife on the call. So I know there's a family buy-in here. They both got engaged, right? And just sort of then we just have a relaxed cup of tea conversation.
And, just, I know it's different every time, but from our conversations in the past, you don't need to come in with like $500,000 to get this going, do you? Well, what are we talking about?
This is a great point. People have this illusion of the big man with brand name franchises, and they cost like the scads of money. If you want to drop $1 million, I'm happy to help you out. However, having said that, you don't need to, right? So you can do a great franchise. We'll say on average, from say 150 to say 250, and the bulk of that is financed over 10 years. It's the rule of 10. 10-year franchise deal, 10-year lease for retail type operation, which is a non-issue if it's not retail, and 10-year financing deal. They can match up all those 10s. And right now, there's a great opportunity with home-based franchises where you might spend, say, $40K roughly for a franchise fee. You may spend 150 thereabouts, $200,000, everything in, open the business, and you'll finance probably half that, 60% of that amount of money over 10 years' time. And with those, you pick your poison, so to speak, wherever it tickles your fancy. In there, people do in that investment range, they can find franchises within 2 to 3 years' time are doing $2 million plus in sales. So you do some basic math here, gross margins, et cetera, operating expenses, whatever, all the fancy accounting type stuff. And you're looking at a six-figure income when you follow the system. So this is a case of the more I spend, the more I make. No, find the right fit, follow a proven system, make sure it's a match, follow the system, and you do exceptionally well, from just your home-based office without a lot of overhead in front of you.
And again, they're not in this alone. It's not like, here you go, you're out of the nest, go fly. Your role in this is to help them succeed. And part of their success is your success because of the deal they make with you, correct?
100%. So there's I watched a documentary a while ago, the Peregrine Falcons in downtown Toronto. Those are, you're on your own, little bird, like 40 floors in the air. Yeah. You either fly or you die, right? So we're the exact opposite of the Peregrine Falcons in downtown Toronto, okay? Exact polar opposite. So I educate and guide you from the time we meet in the first phone call or Zoom call up to signing the franchise fee. It's educate, guide, direct. I'll tell you precisely when this is going to cost you money. Up to here, it's information gathering, due diligence, which is important, right? And after you sign the deal, I still hold your hand to grand opening. I'm available to you as a coach, mentor, whatever you like, for the life of your franchise deal. You have an issue or a problem with the franchisor or questions just in general, ring me up. I take your call for 10 years.
Excellent. Listen, I've known Andrew for a little less than a year now. I can tell you from my dealings with him, this is a good guy. So if you are thinking about this, Andrew is a really good person to talk to. And I would recommend, if you're thinking about this, at least have the conversation with Andrew. I know that he will do right by you.
Thank you, Craig. I appreciate that very much. My goal is to make everybody happy, make it right for them. Right?
Yeah, and that way everybody makes money, right?
100%. Absolutely. And so on the money part, any immediate friends, Craig, I am more than happy to find them a discount on their franchise fee. We take about 10%. There's more somewhere. I'll negotiate for you with your lawyer, your accountant, the marketing guys. I'll negotiate with you on your behalf to find you money they can put back in your pocket.
Excellent, Andrew. Thank you so much. So for you people who've lost your job, you got a settlement, you're trying to think about what you can do, you do have some options. You have a lot of options, and there are people who are going to help you, and this is one you can consider. Andrew, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Craig. My pleasure.